We don't have a great understanding of the actual technology that has now surrounded us. But just to sum things up, we live in a piezoelectric world. And we have for a while. And basically this means vibrations, especially from electric devices, have a biological effect on us and the world around us, other animals and plant life, on crystals, quartz crystal being just at the center of piezoelectric. And this stuff is inherent in the devices that are in the world we live in. We use piezoelectric devices in our smartphones and our laptops on a daily basis without even thinking about it. But companies like AT&T have been thinking about it. And their lab technicians and their researchers and their tech geeks have gotten to the point where they have bioacoustic data transfer in the works. And they're planning to roll this out and integrate it into existing technology. And what they plan to do is use bioacoustic sensors to send data codes, encrypted information, and personal biometric data identifiers through your bones.
It takes a steady hand, because if you touch the side...
Imagine being able to securely open the front door of your home by simply touching the handle. Through a combination of your mobile device and your skeletal frame, which can uniquely identify you, this can happen today, and you won't have to go through the trouble of finding your keys and fumbling through your purse or your pockets or anything to find your set of keys. All you have to do, wear a wearable watch or a smartphone, and then touch the door handle, and this thing will recognize your biometric signature, use an encrypted key, and give you access to your home, to your car, to your digital wallet, to whatever. Need to transfer secure data or exchange information with a friend or colleague quickly? It can happen with a simple handshake, literally. Researchers in AT&T labs are developing new technologies that can allow all of this to happen. And it's crazy, it's creepy, and it's unsettling, and it's already here. It's not a new technology they need to develop. They're just piggybacking off of the devices that are already in nearly every major electronic device you have. It's just built into it, and that's the world we live in. It could be hacked by anyone, but at the same time, it's a spying device that has the power to literally infiltrate your body and determine the way that you can live. And this has been in the news. Forbes covered it as far back as 2012. Here's the inventor right here, who developed the AT&T Labs bioacoustic system that could allow your cell phone or other device to securely transfer data through your body. She says the goal is to get data transferred securely through the bones of the people allowed access to it. So isn't that going to be great? Well, they said this is all based on technology that they've already been working with, it's already been identified and used, and they realized that since they can transmit music through the body and use bioacoustic sensors to detect that music at a particular frequency of the body, that, well, they could use this for identification and the passing of encrypted data as well through your bones, through your body. So they're going to collect, analyze, and store data about your own hand gestures, and an algorithm detects the level at which that becomes unique to you personally based on the way that certain electric signals resonate and vibrate in your body as opposed to some other individual's body. That's the level they're at, and they could do this just easily with existing off-the-shelf technology and scripts. They've already learned to identify this based on the audio through your bones. That keeps me scratching my head. And they could transmit, for instance, music through the body. They did this when they were supposedly calibrating their system, and they realized that anything, including encrypted data, can be passed through the body, literally, based on the vibration signals that are sent out by these devices. So this is just another guy, another brick in the wall, bringing us one step closer to the mark of the beast. And again, the surprise is you're already carrying the device. A wrist-adaptable wireless apparatus invokes functions of a portable wireless device, a processor for at least one piezoelectric contact microphone that receives the acoustic signal data, a storage facility for storing your gestures and patterns of your finger movements, a processor that is operative to compare those acoustic signals with what's stored in the data based on your finger movements and gestures. It detects a substantial match, and then it wirelessly transmits a signal that operates the input user command. And they've got all this worked out to an exact science. It's miniaturized, it's incorporated in every device you can think of, and good luck getting around it. Better just to at least be aware of it and know what you're getting into. As everyone already knows, present-day technology puts a computer in every cell phone and a communication device in every major appliance from your TV to your refrigerator. And it's all part of a smart grid, smart home, smart society era that they've been building. And this technology is here, everyone's already using it, and most people have no appetite for understanding the dangers of that system. Most people don't understand the technology because you can't see it, so it's out of mind, and it's just, it takes a little bit to understand it. Piezoelectric systems, radio frequency, the way that they work, send signals back and forth between electric devices, but it also interacts on a biological level with people, with animals, with the world around us in general, and that's just a fact. And today's technology companies have learned to exploit and piggyback off of that reality. The capabilities for this are already built in. You can opt to use it, and maybe it's for good. Maybe it would help people with special needs and handicaps. Maybe it'll make it more convenient to get into your home and keep track of your things, your passwords, and your physical keys. But it's also a system that is already in place and can be exploited and hacked by a government agency or a rogue agent or someone who means you harm. It's simply the world we live in, and that's a tough pill to swallow, but there it is. It works on the basis of identifying your particular hand gestures and transmitting control signals to and from the phone corresponding to that and positively identifying who you are. In the summary at the end of the patent, he again talks about the simple finger gestures concurrent with the audio signals sensed, learned, interpreted, encrypted, and broadcast to remote devices or to your mobile device that all interact with your body, with the electric signals, with the technology, and with the access that you're going to be granted in this technological control grid of the future. Right, this is just one application just for identification and everything, but there's so much more they could do with it. And the question of whether it's detrimental or actually beneficial is a much larger question that science has begun exploring. And now you see articles like this one in Global Advances in Health and Medicine Journal from 2014, Life Rhythm as a Symphony of Oscillatory Patterns. Electromagnetic energy and sound vibration modulates gene expression for biological signaling and healing. The ability of music to modulate blood pressure, heart rate, respiration, EEG measurements, body temperature, galvanic skin response, immune and endocrine function, ameliorating pain, anxiety, fatigue, depression, etc. And so now you've got modern scientists who are studying the effects of electromagnetic energy on the body, quoting from and validating the philosophy of Indian mystics and Sufi musicians. And they've got this quote that says, "A person does not hear sound only through the ears. He hears sound through every pore of his body. It permeates the entire being, and according to its particular influence, either slows or quickens the rhythm of blood circulation, wakens or soothes the nervous system. It arouses a person to greater passions or calms him by bringing him peace. According to the sound and its influence, a certain effect is produced. Sound becomes visible in the form of radiance. This shows that the same energy which goes into the form of sound before being visible is absorbed by the physical body. In that way, the physical body recuperates and becomes charged with new magnetism." So that's pretty stunning. They're going to use this as a means of communication and ID verification, but it's also having biological effects on the body. Only a lot of these devices and electronics go off of the 60 hertz electric cycle, and they've actually been shown to have detrimental effects. So I don't know if they've taken that into account, but if they haven't, this could prove to be a dangerous technology in that way. And so AT&T always has been more than just a phone company. And they're even more than just a surveillance system for the NSA, although that's clearly part of it. They want people literally on a living network grid where everything you do is fed back into and monitored based on your biological activity and your interaction with these systems. It reminds me of the movie Avatar, the James Cameron movie. And they've got this natural world where the trees have basically fiber optics that share data and collect data from the people through their hair, and they voluntarily connect in. Only it'll be an artificial synthetic electric grid that simulates life and collects data for these companies and corporations who will hold all the buttons of control, who are teaching us how to live in a way where they can cut off access to our life at any moment. Surveillance and spying is built in inherently, and the burden on proof for being who you say you are and being allowed to access the rights you supposedly have on paper, well, That's all going to be mitigated through these kind of data systems. This guy right here, some young computer guy, has all these patents on how to deal with social media and avatars in the system and how they're going to uniquely identify people either watching movies or playing games or whatever. And really his earliest work was a bioacoustic control system, the very thing we're talking about. And it transmits signals to and from your phone corresponding with the gestures and the marks of your body and grant you access or not. It's all detailed in this patent, U.S. patent number 7,148,879, granted in 2006 and filed as far back as 2001, prior to 9/11. Just imagine the potential for things to go wrong or for people to use it for ill will. I mean, this stuff has been warned about, and nobody seems to learn the lesson. It's just incredible.